Hey guys, hello, Martin from howtomakemobilegames.com again on May the 10th today. It's a Sunday, 11:49 in the morning now, so this is kind of early for me. I woke up about 9:30 today, and that is a really early day for me. I'm trying to make my hours a little bit more regular, so I might sound a little bit kind of slow and slurry as I'm doing this video. Just because this is an early one for me, but hopefully what I'm saying is kind of clear anyway. But nice day in Shanghai today. Sun is out. Hopefully it's kind of clear. Can see a little bit of blue sky. That is nice to see. Don't see it's not super blue. You never get super blue. I think the video may be showing it. The video is showing it like to be quite blue, but it's really not. That blue. I think the video is just increasing the saturation a little bit. So, but yeah, it's a nice day anyway. So anyway, this video is just about the dilemma of ads in games. So I thought I'd do this quickly because I just checked an update of our game on Amazon called Dumb Stickman 3, and this one is a game that we released recently. Now, this game is doing pretty good in terms of revenue. I think yesterday it made roughly just this one game, $155 on ads, and there's no in-app purchases in the game, right? The game is pretty fun. It's just like a, what do you call it? I think it's Gravity Guy, I think was the original inspiration for this game. But all you do is you're just a running guy from left to right, and you flip gravity so that your guy sort of goes from the top to the bottom of the screen, and then you avoid all of these things like here. The guy, once you tap the screen, he'll flip down, and he's running from left to right, and you avoid the red objects in the screen like these saws or these blocks. So it's a pretty fun game. So it makes money with Chartboost ads and AppLovin ads. Now, I know that 99% of all the revenue that most developers make out there is basically through ad networks. So obviously the biggest way that we make money is to put ads in the game. If we didn't put ads in the games, most of us would just be out of business, and we would for sure. So the problem is obviously, so we put ads in the game, but the issue is when we put ads in the game, we get reviews like this, and I'll just scroll down and show you. Look. Ads for days. The game would be better if you didn't get an ad right after you start each level. That's actually a Chartboost ad, so it's easy to dismiss. Make ads smaller. Can't exit out of ad. Way too many ads. Just an ad. Pop-up ads. WFT ads. You know, too many ads. Blah 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 blah. So I get it. Of course, I understand these complaints by players. Definitely, and I see that all the time, and not just from our game, from like many games in the industry, that there's too many ads in the game. But it's the way that we make money. That's the problem. That's the issue right here. If you only put, like, say, a banner ad in the game from Chartboost or something like that, it's really tough to make revenue on this game. It really is. So, or it's tough to make revenue on any game. Trust me, it's really hard, and so that's really a problem, like for the industry and for developers, because the issue is now, in my opinion, guys, is that we've created a situation. The industry in general is, and the apps industry in general has created a situation where the value of games has just been devalued so much ever since the app stores sort of came into play and we created you know, the 99 cents game. I mean, Angry Birds, for God's sake, it's you know, there's hours and hours and hours of entertainment in Angry Birds from when I played, like last time I played was probably like over a year ago or 2 years ago, but it was 99 cents. In fact, I think it was a free version that had a ton of content in, and it was hours and hours of entertainment. But players will never part with their money for that game. Now, I know Angry Birds is probably not the best example because people do pay like 99 cents in that game and it makes money. But it's probably a very small percentage of players. Really, players out there do not pay or very few, a very small percentage of them, I think it's like 3 or 4 or 5% of them actually pay some real hard cash for a game, anything in the game. And that's the same for us and the same for us for most developers. Like we only make a few dollars a day, literally, only maybe $2-3 a day on in-app purchases, and then the rest of the money is on ads. So we get these complaints and reviews from players saying, hey, well, you know, there's too many ads in this game. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, okay, well, let's take the ads out of the game. Will that mean that the player will be super happy and all of a sudden, you know, they'll stay in the game longer and that will build up the ad revenue? You know, we'll make more money because the player stayed in the game longer, or they removed the ads with $1, or they paid for something in the game. No, not a chance. I promise you guys, with the small games that most developers make, and even medium-sized games, you know, maybe I'm trying to think of some examples, but I can't think right now because it's too early. But most of the games that we, you know, the small games that we make, even if you say, oh well, let's keep the player happy, let's take away the ads and keep them happy, you're unlikely to make that revenue back. You know, it's like I'm trying to think of a very nice way to say this, but it's like, well, you know, not screw them. I don't mean screw the players, of course not. But what I mean is, it's like, well, we have to put the ads in the game, even though you're not happy, even though players are not happy. We have to, because if we don't, we can't continue to grow, we can't continue to build, we can't continue to learn, we can't continue to grow our big games as well, which players are enjoying and staying in the game more. So it's really a problem. I know I think I did a video on this like a while ago, I think a few months ago, about ads in games and things. And I don't really I didn't really think about this video before I kind of made it. I just saw those the reviews, and I thought I'd do a quick video about this. But it's really a problem because I seen years ago, or last year maybe, or whenever it was, I seen on the iPhone Dev SDK forum, and one guy, he made a really good point. He said something along the lines of like, we made the mistake of trying to please the player by not putting ads in the game. So, and then they really lost out money. They really didn't make a lot of money on the game, and then that was a learning curve for them. So, and then he later, something went on to say like, you know, we didn't try to please the player so much anymore. We put ads in the game. Why? Because you need to make the money. You really do need to make the money. Because players do not part with their money for games anymore. They really don't, especially on mobile, because the value of it has just dropped so much. The overall impression from players of mobile games is that they just will not part with money unless the game is really good, really excellent. So I was just going to make another point as well there, guys, and I forgot. It's kind of it just fell out of my head. I was going to make another point there. I can't think anyway. But I'll show you this anyway. This is because this is our game from one of our internally developed games at PandaTap. So Dumbstickman 3, you can see here. So that was the other point I was going to make. Yeah. Well, it's still in my head. I'm sorry. We've got a bunch of players here that are making bad reviews. Now, it could be that, and I think this is true, that players who don't like something, or people who don't like something, are louder than people who do like something. Okay, that could be the case. If I take a look at the boot ups here, I mean, yesterday it wasn't a massive. Well, what am I looking at here? So I'll say there. Okay, so 500 installs and 1600 boot ups. So that's roughly a 1-to-3 ratio. So every one player is booting the game up 3 times. I think that's roughly a 3-to-4 boot up ratio, install to boot up ratio. So 624 installs and over 2,000 boot ups, and then 690, so about 700, about 3 times. So a 1-to-3 install to boot up ratio. So players are playing the game. You know, they are coming back into the game. Some players are enjoying the game. And there are some players as well that do enjoy it as well, because obviously we've got a range of stars here, even though it's 2.5. We've got 5 stars, 4 stars, 3, 2, even though the majority of stars are 1 star. But, you know, it could be that players who don't like the games and who get really upset about ads are going to be far more vocal about it than players who do enjoy games. So that's something to really take into consideration when you're looking at reviews. I do often hear developers say, oh, well, you know, let's keep players happy in the game, you know, and don't put ads in the game. And I agree with that partly. I agree, you know, don't break the user experience too much. You know, I think the way that I try to have us put ads in the game is so that we don't, so that the player knows where the ads are coming and they can dismiss them anytime. So usually we have like multiple levels and we show the ads between levels. So if you complete a level or if you die, then we show an ad. I think in our new game, You Escape Sometimes too, or our new update. In that game, we only show an ad if you die. We don't show an ad whenever you complete a level. So there's a ton of content in there. You know, there's, I think Ryan's built like, with all of the 3 games, it's I think over 200 levels now or something, or between 100 and 200 levels. So there's quite a lot of content in there, and there's a lot of gameplay time. And we only show ads we only showed ads before when it was game over. But now we've started to include AppLovin ads when the game starts, and hopefully players will know when those ads are appearing, and they'll know to, you know, dismiss them if they're not interested in them. So, but then, like I said, some developers say, oh, let's not put ads in the game because it upsets players. Make the money. Really, don't, because players will not part with their cash. They will not give you any money for the game, really, the majority of the time. Keeping players happy is all good and whatever, but it's, you know, I'm not. I'm trying to think of a. I'm not trying to say screw the player. You know, it's not like that at all. Of course, you want to keep players happy, but you know, you got to think of your revenue, generating revenue first as a business. Okay, cash flow is king. It is generating cash is the lifeblood of your business. You have to generate cash first in order to grow your business. So the way that we're trying to approach this now is we have a bunch of small games that we continually develop, and we make small games roughly it's about every 7 to 10 days now we finish one game. And we're trying to make the games a little bit larger and a little bit cooler, but we had to generate the cash flow first in order to reach that point. So if we get some great cash flow coming in, like $1,000 every day, then eventually what we can do is we can focus on bigger, cooler, better games, better user experiences, and, you know, introduce game elements where the player is like so much into the game that they are happy to part with, you know, $1 to buy some features or things in the game, you know, items, whatever it may be. But you have to develop cash flow first, and the best way to do that is to put ads in the game with, you know, maybe 2 or 3 different ad networks in there. So my point is, don't worry too much about what the reviews are, and don't worry too much about what the players think, especially when it comes to reviews, because you've got to make cash flow first, and then you can build up your cash flow enough to make the bigger, cooler games where you can start to make better money with in-app purchases. Also bear in mind, as I said, guys, if you're seeing a very high install to boot up ratio, so players are coming back to the game over and over and over, then it could be just that players who don't like the game are being more vocal. So also a consideration. But I'm just curious what you guys think on this. My arm's hurting now. I'm going to have to turn this around. Do you agree with my points? Do you agree with that reviews, you know, don't listen to them too much, and don't try and keep the player too happy if you're making cash flow? Because that's obviously the most important thing. I want to know what you guys think. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys, because this video has gone on for a little bit longer than what I planned, and I've got a lot of work to do today. But definitely check out the game, though, please. As always, when you see this video, guys, please check out the games. Dumbstickman 3. That really supports us a lot. Let me know if you do download the game as well, because then it shows that the videos that we're making for the channel and the forum are really having a good impact. Because to be frank, the forum and the YouTube channel does not make any money at all, which is all fine and good because it has other benefits as well, for sure, like meeting you guys and you know, working with new people, which is awesome. But yeah, please let me know if you do download the game from any of these videos. That really really supports us, and thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Big thumbs up, you know, tap the like button down there wherever it is. Please subscribe as well, and more videos coming soon, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.